Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Talking AI podcast. This is the first episode of the podcast, and both of us are really excited to be here. Hey, Rajesh, how are you?
I'm good, Ram. How are you going?
Good, good. Uh, Freshen up early in the morning and starting off with the podcast. What does it feel like?
I'm really excited. I have done a few podcasts in my time, but nothing to do with AI, and really excited to be talking to you and your listeners, Ram.
Yeah, it is. It is really interesting. And if you think about it, now every other podcast has to be about AI. Otherwise, there's probably not enough zing in the podcast world if there's not a little bit of AI in everything.
Absolutely, and it's not just podcasts. You go to any seminars, any IT related function. There's at least
Yeah,
every second word is AI. So, which means it's really important, especially for the Australian
absolutely.
businesses. Yeah.
And we need more of these, right? We need, especially in Australia, we need more awareness and more discussion around AI and what's happening in the business world, especially. There's a lot of
Oh, I
academic discussion going on. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely, and just to segue from that, as you saw a couple of weeks ago, there was a ruling from APS, Australian Public Services, and also from
correct.
National AI Centre about
Yeah,
the new guidelines with AI.
correct.
And I really love your comparison that you did. I think that's a real eye opener.
Yeah, that was really interesting, right? And it's a good opportunity for all of us to think through how do we enable responsible AI in our organizations. For those who haven't seen the comparison, what we will do is we will post in the links in the podcast description. You can it's on LinkedIn. You can go and download the paper and read it. It should be an interesting read. So, and there have been actually four developments if you think about it, right? So there was the national AI guidelines which came out in October, if I'm not wrong. Then you have the national AI centers guidelines rather, and then we have the APS AI plan for the public sector. And then we had last week we had the launch of the Safety Institute, Australian AI Safety Institute.
Mhm.
And then this week, on Tuesday, there was the launch of the National AI Plan.
Right.
There's a lot of call out on what is the kind of investment the Australian government wants to bring in the AI field, in bringing in sovereign AI, so on and so forth. So it's really interesting times that we are living in,
Yep.
especially globally and also in Australia, right? And there's a great opportunity for Australia to be a leader in the governed responsible AI world.
Absolutely, and it's good that you called that out. And I just recently had another discussion with the Singapore government, and they are also
Okay.
coming up with a lot of AI guardrails, which aligns with the rest of the world. So I think the biggest
Yes.
factor, like the Australian government, that they've come up with is the trust for AI,
Yeah.
because of the adoption by various businesses, by the moms and pops,
Correct.
and the future generation, our kids, taking on AI in a massive way. So trust is a big factor, and of course responsible and reliable, and all of those. So yeah,
Yeah, 100%. And it was the foundation. They also have a foundation, don't they? The AI Verified Foundation, which is bringing
correct,
together AI testing and AI automation. Are you guys
correct,
part of
correct.
it?
Yes, we've just been, I guess, gotten on as a member, as a contributing member to the AI Verify, which allows any businesses who are in the AI space to test and assess and make sure that they're complying with all of the framework and guardrails as stipulated by National AI Center and so on.
Brilliant. AI model testing is, especially for the frontier models, is absolutely a key thing. And that should be put front and center before models are released to the general public. And that
Correct.
should be one of the activities of the AI Safety Institute in Australia as well. I think
Absolutely.
they have to do the model testing before they release it, and there is a there's an opportunity for organization like yours and the AI Verify toolkit to play a role there, which
Absolutely.
I believe Azure QA has integrated into it, right? Yeah,
Correct. Yes, correct. And
good.
also, this brings to the other topic of how you mentioned in one of your analysis from last week's National AI
Yeah,
Center's guardrails, where you're saying it's not just enough by assessing and verifying that your AI is compliant for that assessment time frame, but it's an ongoing thing, because as
correct.
AI evolves and the AI engine learns new things, it has to be assessed through and through. So it's
Absolutely.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not fill and forget, but it's uh,
Yes.
a continuous assessment as you go
And
along, and monitoring.
yeah, 100%. And the core of the discussion is the frontier models, obviously, the GPT models, the Gemini models, and the Grok models, so on and so forth, that the Claude models as well. And there are quite a few Chinese models which are doing really well in that field.
Hmm.
But the most important aspect is to look at AI as a system rather than
Hmm.
just the models. So
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
system, how AI interacts with other business applications, what tools are used, and what data is shared, and how all of that is governed will become really, really important, right?
Absolutely.
It is the holistic picture is what is needs to be put together. On that note, we do have a special guest coming up, Neil Gatenby from Stoke Consulting, and we are going to discuss around responsible AI adoption and how Australian SMEs, mid market, and large enterprises have started adopting AI into their businesses and the challenges that they are facing.
Awesome. That'll be a great session to look forward to.
Yeah, yeah, that's we'll break into that and then probably get back together. Let me get Neil into this chat. Okay, see you on the other side. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Ram. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome again. And we have with us our special guest for today, which is Neil Gatenby from Stoke Consulting. So, as mentioned earlier, we are going to talk about Australian businesses, small and medium businesses, mid market, and enterprise. So, Neil, welcome.
Great, thanks. It's great to be here. Thank you, Ram.
So, how do you find it? All up and ready in the morning, talking in a podcast?
Oh, it just sets the day up great, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yes.
Nothing like, and you can see all the podcasts all around the world are about AI, and we are here to talk about AI as well.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, and you work with a lot of organizations across Australia, and lately I'm sure AI must have come up in discussions around AI adoption. What's your take on what's going on?
Well, quite frankly, I say that AI adoption is a bit like buying a treadmill. Everyone's excited at the start, but if it's anything like mine, it's right now after a couple of months, it's gathering dust in the garage, and it's not because the technology doesn't work. It's the technology works great. It does. It is as it's printed on the box, if not more. But it's because people just generally don't know where to start. The foundations that they built on, the data and the processes are messy. The problems they're trying to solve, the use cases are often vague. There's a lot of mistrust, a lot of assumptions made about what it is and what it's going to do. A lot of hype. The hype is incredibly strong, but the execution's weak. And to be frank, I think that's where most Australian organisations will get stuck.
If we think about if you were to hone in on 3 or 4 issues that are the big blockers, what are those?
Well, I think you can put them into 3 categories. You may split it out into 4, but it's generally people.
It's always the people, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Those of us that have worked around technology projects for many years sort of know it's it's kind of like preaching to the choir here, right? So it's the people are often the weakest link. Yes, yeah.
And the most important as well, probably we need to put people first when it comes to AI.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, AI is actually about making people's lives, people's work lives, the things that they do easier.
Yeah.
And so it frees them up to actually focus on the things that matter, and not get stuck in the sort of the minutiae of executing things. It's freeing them up and allowing people to use their creativity and focus on the things that they're good at. Sorry, I got off the track there a little bit. People is one. So there's a whole there's the trust element to it. There's a real significant, I think, leadership role to play, which I see again, and I think AI kind of exaggerates this or reinforces this, is that the leadership are the really crucial in adopting any of these sorts of transformational type of initiatives. And the organisations that succeed, one of the main characteristic you see is leadership and sponsorship. And sponsorship is the single most important factor in any implementation of anything you do. Without that, you don't start. So sorry, you get me.
No, you're gone.
Get me all wound up.
It is all insightful. You did call out people, and then you talked about leadership clarity. As a really important aspects. Yep, go on.
Yeah. So the next sort of group, and there's probably even two groups in amongst this. So it's the foundations of the business. So it's process and it's data. Yeah. Broken processes and messy data get amplified. They don't get fixed with generative AI.
Yeah.
That they get magnified. So if your processes and your data are producing crap at the moment, what if you don't fix the underlying things, you're going to get very good at generating crap.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I were to summarize that, we're looking at people and accountability. Like they have to make the call and set the direction, and then have foundations set in place, which is ensure that your broken processes and messy data are fixed first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you, okay.
Yeah, definitely. So, and probably just the last piece in there, and I think you sort of touched on it, is actually clarity. The again, what we're seeing, that the successful organisations are ones that have a real clarity of purpose about what it is they're trying to do. They really understand the problem they're trying to solve, the opportunity they're trying to exploit, and they're seeing AI an end, not an end itself.
Yep. Business-led AI, not AI-led business, right?
Yep. Yeah, correct. Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. That's excellent. And is it any different which organization you work with, whether it is a small small organization or a medium enterprise or a large corporate? Is there any difference?
So I'm going to speak in very general terms here. Of course, there are exceptions, and quite frankly, I think the challenges and the symptoms you might find could be different, but they all follow that same pattern, back to those sort of three areas that we spoke about.
Okay.
But in general terms, I think your SMEs, your small companies, your small to medium-sized companies, just don't know where to start, right? So surely it's just as getting some ChatGPT licenses and just letting people get on with it, right? So, but they don't really kind of have a view of where do we get started. As you grow in size, in the mid-market enterprises or the mid-market organisations, I think what we can see is that they generally sort of can see the value, but they can't operationalise it. They have a real difficulty in getting it moving and getting beyond the good idea. Yeah.
Or the pilot, right? Just
getting beyond the
pilot and get stuck there.
Just because we've done a pilot means that, okay, we're on the AI journey now, right? So we're good to go. Yeah. And go up even higher into the enterprise, into the corporates, that they will often get get tangled in sort of the governance and slow decision-making cycles.
Yeah.
One of the things, and we both come out of the corporate world, one of the things that we see is that the bigger the organizations, the more, I was going to say the word bureaucracy, and that's probably the right term.
Yeah.
And that can get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, having said that, and we haven't really kind of talked about this morning here at all, but the guardrails that you need to put in place and the governance of AI around AI is really important. But
yes.
what I see is that within the enterprise market, there's more emphasis on the governance than there is on the actual delivery.
Yeah. So you're talking about more of the decision making being super slow as against the guardrails related governance, which is a totally different thing, right? Which is like getting the right outcome out of AI versus getting started at all.
Yes. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. And it is a characteristics of large corporates where decision making takes a while. Yeah, it has to go through the whole chain. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a good summary of how all three different sectors are finding themselves in their AI journey, and there are so many AI tools, and it's easy to get started, and you can get confused as to where to start. That's quite natural for small enterprises to get that confusion, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes.
And does it have something to do with awareness as well, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And Stoke Consulting has got a real focus on that.
Yes. Yeah. So bring it back to those sort of three areas that we just spoke about. So in the SMEs, mid-market, and the enterprise thing. So and those not knowing where to get started, having a clear sort of strategy and creating those those real use cases that add real value, and then sort of focusing on fixing the foundations, the data, the process, the business operating model. That's where Stoke Consulting plays. The technology itself is an enabler, as we said before, to actually helping the businesses actually achieve their strategic intent to do the things that they actually set out to achieve. Yeah. So at Stoke Consulting, we have a number of things that we offer, starting with sort of education and awareness. We have sessions that do much of the heavy lifting. They're absolutely designed to take away the fear, to help build confidence, and help people, including leaders, to see that AI is not here to replace them. It's here to augment them. It's here to help them. It's help them be successful. And I think you said it earlier, Ram. It's about putting people first in an organisation and using tools like AI to help them be successful. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And this does this that awareness kind of gives them a foundation to understand what to do with AI, right?
Absolutely.
What to do with AI in their business. And I always thought that AI adoption has to be business-led, not AI-led. What are your thoughts there, like from a strategy perspective?
Oh, absolutely. To me, when you boil it all down, what is AI? What is the purpose? What is the real benefit of AI? Yeah. It's helping decision making. It's helping your leaders make better decisions, which are going to improve the business. You know, it's where do we focus our what markets do we play in? What constraints have we got inside our organisations? Have we got the right structures in place to help us execute our business processes? Are our processes too fat, dumb, and happy? We another thing that we do is we offer strategy workshops, not AI. So it's certainly centered around AI adoption, absolutely. But the foundation of that is not AI. The foundation of that is your business strategy. Yep. So it's how do you, as a leader, how do you as a contributor to your organization's success see the organization playing out, and where and how can AI help in amongst all that, right?
Absolutely.
So the question is, what decision is AI going to help you improve? Not where can we put AI? It's what decision are we going to make? What business process? What problems are we solving? What opportunities are we chasing that AI can help with? Yeah,
Correct.
And sorry, just to say, to reinforce that, if you can't answer that, then you're not ready for a tool.
Yeah, 100%. And you also need a very well-defined, validated roadmap, which is going to help your business, right? Otherwise, you can't move forward, which is fair enough.
Indeed, and there's a technology play in that roadmap. There's no doubt about that. But it's not the thing you lead with. It's not the it's not the end in itself. It's the means to an end. So these workshops I was talking about sort of help leaders sort of work through and kind of pick that meaningful pathway, including the tools and the technology, not chasing 15 shiny new ones.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
And
the other aspect is, we're going back to the start of our discussion where we spoke about the blockers, and one of the elements that you spoke about was process and data, right? So if organizations have to get started, they really need to get that right, and then get that foundations fixed, and then move forward. What are your thoughts on that, and how do these workshops help in that? Is there anything beyond those workshops?
Absolutely. And again, this is sort of plays very, very much into the Stoke Consulting sort of wheelhouse here. It's the thing that we've been very, very good at over many, many years, is to help our clients, help our organisations get clarity around what it is that they do, and how do you use these tools and technologies to help your people execute the business processes to be successful. So it's having that sort of foundations clear. If you throw AI on top of a broken process, you just get automated chaos. Right. And so one of the things that we do is we run readiness assessments, and these readiness assessments are multifaceted, and it does some diagnostics about how ready are you to adopt some of the sort of more transformational activities. What are the foundational things you've got to put in place first? Do you need to redesign your workflow? Is your data up to the right level? We've seen many organisations, and you and I have sort of seen this over many years as well. That data is an enormous factor in a successful implementation of any sort of technology, whether it's an ERP or any of these sort of old legacy type arrangements. So having that sort of level of clarity is really, really important.
Okay, so probably before we end this podcast, maybe two thoughts from you, like what does good look like, and what would be some practical advice for leaders who want to start off? Start off with, if you can start off with, what does good look like? What do people aim for?
Look,
in an AI
in an AI world. Look, this is a new world. There's no doubt about it, and it's not about doing the same things that we've always done, doing them differently or incrementally better. When it comes to adopting this type of technology, in many cases, actually about doing different things. It's about, when people change how they work. It's not about a pilot. It's not about a flashy demo. It's not about sort of trying to get a level of excitement. That's already there. I think that level of hype. So what good adoption looks like is when it actually is implemented and people actually change the way that they work. Now, you absolutely need to start with a pilot. There's no doubt about that. But the trick is choosing the right one. And it's got to be something that actually solves a real problem, delivers real value, and it sort of tackles those barriers that we were talking about before. If your pilot doesn't connect to your business strategy, and doesn't engage your people, and it doesn't sort of working on top of an improved process, it's just another shiny demo. Yeah.
And people need to trust the system as well, right? They need to know that this is safe to use, this is secure, this has got the right process in it, this will has the right outcome, business outcome in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So look, there's many other sort of things. I could talk all day on this stuff, right? So
of course.
We can
we could, but our listeners probably wouldn't have time.
No, that's right. That's right. Yes, indeed. Yes, yeah. The second part of what you were talking about was sort of practical advice, right? So where do you where do you get started? I would say pick one decision in your business, one thing that you're dealing with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and just ask the question, if this was improved with AI, what would change? Yep. If you can answer that, then you're ready to start. Then you're ready to get on that journey. If you're not, then go back to step 0, which is that education piece.
Correct.
So we've talked before about sort of the educations and awareness training that we offer. We're talking about the sort of strategy and workshops, and then sort of into execution. Think about the training education as step 0. And if you are ready, then go to step 1. But if you're not ready, then go back to. There's always a place to go back to. That's the beauty of it. Yeah.
And you might want to kind of keep your business front and center, right? The beginning, the middle, and the end of your business in business value chain in your mind while you think about, hey, where will AI act on this?
Indeed.
That's probably really, really key. And Neil, thanks for joining. That's absolutely wonderful talking to you. And there are some gems from this podcast that people can take away. As always, excellent, great insights. Thanks a lot for that. Any closing comments that you want to make before we move on?
No, look, thanks, Ram. It's been great to join you this morning. And again, if anyone sort of wants help, whether it's with that awareness or the strategy or the readiness, then reach out to us at Stoke Consulting.
Brilliant. And we will have Stoke Consulting details in the description of the podcast as well. Thanks a lot, Neil, and you have a good day.
Great. Thanks, Ram.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That is a great chat with Neil, Ram. The podcast really went well. And I think the key takeaway for me was the key blockers for implementing AI in any organization that Neil has really addressed. And that was a real eye-opener for me as well.
Yeah, that's where we usually get unstuck, right? So we need to ensure that we've got way out of these blockers. And we have a very safe, planned way out of these ones. And the following discussion on setting up the strategy, the vision, I think that's the right way to go.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Awesome. Now, I've got a couple of questions for you, Ram. You're the subject matter expert when it comes to AI. Now, there's quite a lot of proliferation of AI tools everywhere you look. Yeah. There's AI, in the schools, there's AI in the businesses, AI in government. Now, sometimes I get the sense that organizations are in a bit of a hurry to jump on board. And maybe, in the non-business world, you could call it a fear of missing out, or FOMO, as my teenage boys would call it. Yeah. Now, what is your opinion on that when it comes to jumping on board?
It happens all the time, right? When a wave kicks in, when a wave of change kicks in, there will always be those 4 types of people. There will be early adopters, there will be the laggards, and there will be a little bit of people who are waiting for things to mature. And with AI, the key thing is the access. There is a lot of access for AI tools in the early days. So with ChatGPT, it became democratic. Everyone started using AI, and everyone started implementing AI, and that gave the rise to the proliferation. And the barrier to entry is low, right? You can use some vibe coding tool and create an AI system of your own. Now, having said that, that is, I believe, a fad. It is definitely something that is going to go away, this proliferation, till the wave
Mhm.
settles down.
Mhm.
By the time it settled down, and when people figure out what's the kind of real use cases that AI has in for
Mhm.
their own businesses,
Mhm.
there would already be some kind of damage done.
Yep.
What we want to avoid is that in this fear of missing out, group mentality, uh, people don't commit some mistakes that
Mhm.
can put themselves, their organizations, and general public at large at risk. Some of
Mhm.
these AI systems are capable of unheard of, uh, amazing interventions, right? These
Mhm.
systems can intervene and take over systems, take over. Honestly, they can launch cybersecurity attacks. So it
Yep.
is really important to take this in a measured way so that responsible AI can be rolled out. Yeah,
And I think that's a great point there, because you are in some shape or form, you are outsourcing your thinking capability to the AI, and
correct.
letting AI think on your behalf, and in some cases even taking the decisions on your behalf. And this could be
100%.
really harmful for the younger generations, or for people who are not really into analysis and thinking about what these AIs are giving back. So I think
Yeah,
it
that's
could
a
be
very good.
harmful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very good point, because if you think about it, AI of today, especially
Hmm.
generative AI, stands on
Hmm.
top of the thousands of years of human toil and the knowledge that
Hmm.
we have created, that was
Hmm.
digitized in the last 100 years. And AI consumed those knowledge, and AI has created this pattern recognition system with which it works, the probabilistic
Hmm.
system with which it
Hmm.
works. Now,
Hmm.
what happens is that when humans stop creating knowledge
Yep.
and become consumers of knowledge, that's when the real problem commences for our future generations,
And
right?
that's the danger. I
Absolutely.
guess. Yeah. Yep. Hmm.
Absolutely. And it's our responsibility, this generation's responsibility, my responsibility, yours,
Hmm.
and this whole millennial, the alphas and the Gen Zs, our
Hmm.
responsibility to ensure that the betas and the sigmas, or whoever come through later,
Hmm.
are taken care of, right? So they
Absolutely.
don't lose out control, and they are not slaves of AI, but they are
Hmm.
masters of AI, and AI is there to serve them like any other
Hmm.
system.
Hmm. Absolutely. And just coming back to my earlier point about FOMO, and a lot of businesses jumping onto it. So what in other words you're saying is that one needs to be more serious about implementing AI systems. They can't just rush into it. Now, when there are so many of these, which may have explicit or embedded AI, it becomes really difficult to manage. So that's basically another question that I had, when it comes to really about visibility. You can't really manage what you don't know. Correct.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, yeah. AI is available in different forms. It is available in a chatbot like
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT or Claude or any other chatbot that you use, and it is
Mm-hmm.
also embedded in your ERP systems now, right? Whether you use
Mm-hmm.
Oracle or whether you use Salesforce for CRM, all of them
Mm-hmm.
have AI embedded within them, or SAP for that matter, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
another aspect, AI embedded within systems, which is the tacit AI, that implicit AI, then there is
Mm-hmm.
explicit AI, right? All of
Yep.
these AI systems are there around you, and you're using them day in and day out. The thing is that you don't know, or
Mm-hmm.
as an organizations, you don't have a registry of what these systems are. So that's
Mm-hmm.
probably the first step to identify in your AI journey. Once if you are serious about this and not following the FOMO band, the key
Mm-hmm.
thing is to identify the AI systems that you're using currently in your organization, whether you're small, medium, or large enterprise. Especially when you're a large enterprise,
Mm-hmm.
you need to figure out what are the different AI systems that are being used, and who is responsible for it, who is accountable for it. Create
Okay, sorry, Ram.
yeah,
If I can just interrupt you there for 1 second,
yeah,
just to reiterate what I just heard. So what you're saying, and in fact, this is a great point which I haven't thought about, is you could be an organization developing your own AI systems, interacting
yes,
with existing LLMs, but you could also be using third-party applications
correct,
like you mentioned Oracle, you mentioned Salesforce, which probably has got agentic AI themselves. So
correct,
it's not just your own AI built that you have built. It could be also you could be reusing agentic AI from all your
correct.
other third-party systems.
Yeah, absolutely. When you
Okay,
put in
okay, that's a
systems
great point.
thinking, when you put in
Mm-hmm.
systems thinking, when you think of AI system not only consists of the technology behind it, but also it
Yep.
consists the data that is fed into it. So you could
Right.
feed in text, you could feed in database, you could feed in images, you could feed in video or audio data into it. That's all your
Mm-hmm.
data. So when you think
Right.
of a system, think of the data as well that goes into that, and think of it
Mm-hmm.
as a whole system that needs to be managed. In that way, yes, you're right. Everything yours, others, whatever you use, you need to create
Mm-hmm.
a registry of that and identify suitable owners and create an AI systems registry. And that's in fact probably the first guideline that NAIC would give you as well,
Mm-hmm.
to create a AI systems registry. There are different ways to do it, right? We could do it in an Excel sheet if you want to manually, but
Mm-hmm.
there are tools like Trust for AI,
Mm-hmm.
which have got an online version of this readily accessible and shared and collaborative version, which of this AI system registry, which can be maintained,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be easily accessed in case of audit or in case of any compliance requirement, in case of incidents analysis, so on and so forth. So yep, that's the first
So
step.
that's a
Identify.
that's a great point, Ram. Because of what you're saying, just for the layman out there, is that you have to have a stock of all your systems AI
Yes.
related, and have that AI registry, as you called it. So to get to that, you have to first go and identify and
Yep.
perhaps catalog every AI system within the organization, whether
Correct.
you are building that AI system or you are using that AI agentic AI from third party systems. So you got to basically catalog them.
Correct.
Perfect,
Correct. You
perfect,
can't, as you said, you can't manage things that you don't know, right? About.
absolutely
Yeah. Yeah. So you
awesome.
need to identify and then, yeah, then manage.
Okay, that's great. So I think obviously you need to first find out what is out there, and then you can take the next necessary steps.
Yes, yeah, and the
Perfect.
next necessary step is also clearly probably
Mm-hmm.
outlined in many frameworks.
Mm-hmm.
World over, with the proliferation of AI, a lot of frameworks have come through for compliance and assessment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is the ISO 42001 framework, there is a NIST RMF, and then you have got the EU AI Act, then you have got
Mm-hmm.
Australia's own NAIC guidelines and VAISS, voluntary AI safety standards, so on and so forth. And
Mm-hmm.
all these things are maturing. So what
Right.
happens is that it becomes a really daunting task for an
Mm-hmm.
organization to pick and choose which one to use.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, the what Trust for AI, if I come back to that tool, does is it kind of simplifies and makes the assessment of these AI systems more accessible from a business lens. What it does is it
Sure.
crunches the key components of all of these different frameworks and creates an analysis based on 8 S's, right?
Mm-hmm.
The S8 framework that we call about it, which is you also know about it, Rajesh,
Yes.
which is
Yep.
the safe, which is supervised, safe, secure, um,
Sovereign. Yep.
sovereign, then scalable, sustainable, systematic, and
And
you
I think
have got the last
standardized
one,
as well. Yep.
standardized. Yeah,
Yep.
these are the
Mm-hmm.
8 different guidelines or 8 different guardrails,
Mhm.
and each one of these guardrail kind of links to different aspects of these assessment frameworks. And
Awesome.
what you can do is, once you have your catalog of or AI system registry, or as and when you're building it, you can
Mhm.
subject these systems to a periodic assessment,
Mhm. Mhm.
and the Trust for AI will give you a score which essentially will tell you where you stand in terms of safety, where you stand in terms of human-led supervision, where you
Mhm.
stand in terms of sovereignty in case your data needs to be sovereign, or at least sovereign within your
Mhm.
organization's environment, so on and so forth, right? So
Awesome.
that's probably the second step, which is assess. Once you identify, then you assess.
Okay. So if I were to summarize what you just said,
Yeah,
now you mentioned NIST's risk management framework. You've got
correct.
ISO 42001. You've got BAISS. You've got National AI Centers guidelines. So there are so much out there when it comes to all these guidelines. So what Trust for AI has done is basically simplified it using the S8 framework, of
Correct.
which you first go and identify and catalog all the AI systems that you have, and then the second step is go and assess it to make sure that with these S8 framework and those 8 dimensions that you bring in through that framework, you basically tick off, all the standards out there: 42001,
Perfect.
BAISS,
not
National AI
not not
Center.
directly those frameworks, but the elements of those frameworks
Right.
embedded into this assessment method. The key thing
Mm-hmm.
there is, you are absolutely right. You can do a checkbox exercise, which
Mm-hmm.
is the initial self assessment.
Yep.
Without boiling the
Mm-hmm.
ocean, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually do a quick assessment for each AI system within an hour to
Mm-hmm.
understand where you stand as a pre-assessment, right? Which is a
Okay.
self-assessment of your AI systems. And this can be done
Right.
periodically within the organizations, where you have a log of where you stand, then you go
Mm-hmm.
fix the gaps, and you see the
Mm-hmm.
improvement, and keep on improving until you get a respectable score of
Mm-hmm.
the S8 assessment, which is purely self-assessed within your organization.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the minimum that you should do as
Mm-hmm.
a as an organization which has got AI systems within your ecosystem.
So if I were to just probably try and simplify that a bit more, so this could be drawing parallels from our day to day, like if you were to go to the tax office and do your tax assessments, so
Yeah.
you would do a self assess first before
Yes.
you present this to your auditors for a
Yes.
formal audit. So
Correct.
you basically assess it, based on your income, your expenses, your tax, your all those different deductions, and
Exactly.
then so you would do that, and then you would go to your professional accountant and say, I've done all of this. Now, can you eyeball this and give me a formal audit before I present this to ATO?
Yeah.
So you would do that in your AI system, where you do a self
Correct.
assessment, and then you would, if you want to go further, you would get it audited by Test for AI, Trust for AI.
Yeah. And with the
Awesome.
proliferation of AI tools, this Trust for AI platform makes it really easy to kind of manage these list of AI systems that you have,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the assessments against those. And I would say that this is more important than even your tax assessments, because this could impact the whole of the organization if you get it wrong, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
If you have an AI system usage within your organization which is not
Mm-hmm.
transparent, which is not clear,
Mm-hmm.
which is not exposed, and which is implicit within the workflow,
Mm-hmm.
then you are risking the whole organization for reputational damage, as well as some things like possibly even fines or relationship issues with your clients.
Absolutely, and I can think of a multitude of use cases
Yeah.
depending on what industry you are in, especially if you're in the hospitality industry or if you're in the care industry, say for example for aged
Yeah.
care and healthcare and so on. There could be decisions that you might be taking based on what the AI is suggesting, and
Yeah.
unless it is safe and secure and reliable, of course.
And
Yeah.
transparent as well. So unless you know which system is being used, you don't
Yep.
know that this decision is being based on an AI system. That's why the AI system registry is important. Where transparency is there, you're right. The industry actually doesn't matter, right? Some of these industries are critical, as you called out, but
Yep.
even in the consulting industry, I have an example recently where a large consulting house had to pay back half of their fees because AI hallucinated. The AI system that they used in the workflow hallucinated,
Yep.
and that declaration did not come through. Maybe because people did not know that AI was being used by a junior employee. Who knows, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's what this will avoid, right? Clarity, transparency, and the assessment will understand whether it is safe to use, whether you're using it responsibly, whether you have got a human oversight, so on and so forth. So it covers the whole
Absolutely.
gamut. Yeah.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Look, Ram, can I just get you to explain in very simple terms? You mentioned the S8 framework. Just for our listeners out there, if you could probably share your wisdom on those S8 framework, if you can.
Yeah. See, the S8 framework is a business led understanding of AI compliance. That's what it is, right? All AI compliance usually uses system language, technology language, things like hallucination, terms like transparency, AI explainability, so on and so forth, right? It is not, these terms are not commonly understood by business people, but they are the ones who are using AI at the end of the day. So
Absolutely.
if you want them to stay compliant, you need to actually help them perform or be safe in a business led manner. That's what the SI framework is for. So what it is a crunching down of various industry frameworks, elements of various industry frameworks, and bringing them down to 8 different attributes or 8 different dimensions. And these dimensions are called 8 S's. They all start with the alphabet S. The first S is related to supervision. So I use the little bit of corny term, which is keep an eye on your AI. So it is all about ensuring that human beings keep an eye on AI, right? So there is a human in the loop, and human is the last decision maker. And there is probably another AI which is checking your AI's work, another AI agent which is validating your AI's work. Recently, there is a AI tool that has been released, where 4 AI systems actually validate each other's work.
Yep. I think I heard this A to A somewhere, which is AI to AI.
Yeah, that's the agent to agent protocol. It would use the agent to agent protocol for communication, and where one agent would probably play the verifier agent, and the other agent will play the author agent. So author content, verify, validate, and then finalize, and then re-author, revalidate. Keeps on going in this loop until it reaches a certain amount of clarity that this information does not have hallucination. It is grounded in fact, so on and so forth. So there are several elements. The AI is supervised by humans, and AI is supervised by other systems and AI as well, right? That's the whole idea around supervision. And the second aspect is safe. How safe is your AI to deal with, right? Whether it is easy to inject prompts into it, whether you have got guardrails around what information it has got access to, so on and so forth.
Yep.
That's a safety aspect of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is security aspect, right? How secure is AI in terms of ensuring whether the AI can be accessed from externally outside your organization, or does it push data externally to the internet? Does it make your organization's processes exposed externally? As I to name a few. That's a security aspect. There are many other things in security, but these are a few examples.
Absolutely, and you don't want your data to be compromised, especially with a lot of data breaches that we're hearing from telcos and also from some of the insurance companies, which was recently in Australia as well. So yeah,
I know. And recently, Anthropic released a white paper wherein they spoke about AI actually coordinating a cyber attack. Several AI systems coordinating and AI heading that cyber attack, right? So it is quite possible that this can happen. Now, once that is the security aspect, then the other aspect is sovereignty, which is really important for AI, because AI, I would say, is a national infrastructure. It is a national infrastructure like telecom or electricity, or like your natural resources. If you provide access to this national infrastructure to a foreign entity, then you are risking catastrophic results, right? So sovereignty is key in terms of AI. And the more national is one aspect. The second one is within the organization, the organizational perimeter is another aspect. So sovereignty in these two aspects is extremely key when dealing with AI systems. And
I think that's a great point that you bring there, because you can really find out the issues if it's a national sovereignty that you're talking about. So you got some of your secret data going outside of the country, and you said within the organization perimeter, it could be your competitors coming in and trying to see what you guys are doing in terms of the next product release and what have you. So so
see, as far as I'm concerned, AI of today has already crossed the threshold of safety. I'll explain what I mean by that. The moment AI started writing code, which is another language, right? AI, generative AI was designed to produce the next word in a language, or predict the next word in a language, or next few words. And similarly, it got the capability to write code. And once you have a code, and once you have a compiler, and once you have a host, then you have got an app that can be produced by AI, and that app could control any other app, any other system, any other national infrastructure. So it is catastrophic if AI decides to do that, or some maleficent actor decides to work with AI to do that, right? So it has already crossed the AI barrier, safety barrier, AI of today. So it's not about it's more about reducing the damage, I would say. It's critical for us to control AI and be the master of AI, rather than let some bad actor own it. So that's why it is absolutely critical to keep it sovereign and safe.
Absolutely. That's great, Ram. So we basically discussed 4 key parts of the framework, which is supervised, safe, secure, and sovereign.
Yeah, probably we can discuss the remaining 4 in a future podcast. That would be, I think, ideal, right? Yeah,
absolutely. Wow, man, we spoke for half an hour exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is good enough, right? Yeah. And let's do the finally let's do the closing takeaway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are stopping with this 4. for now?
Yeah, that's enough.
Because you got track also to talk about track
Yeah,
and train.
let's jump into track and then
Okay.
cover the remaining 4 in the next episode, right?
Okay.
That
Okay.
means we will keep on pounding the S8 story.
Perfect. Yeah. So we spoke about the 4, and then we'll go over the other 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So we
will keep this small and simple, track, and then we will do a key takeaways and close it, right?
Okay.
Yeah. The key takeaways can be something like, hey, today we spoke about how you can adopt AI responsibly in your business and key steps in your responsible AI journey. In the next podcast, we can expect to talk about the remainder of the 4 S's, and we do have some surprise guests coming in to discuss different aspects of AI in Australia and stop it there, right?
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So,
okay.
We do it in this one, or do we jump to track, or?
Yeah, track and continue that discussion without a cut to close.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So we did identify SS, and then okay.
Yeah.
So let me know when you're ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, start.
Fantastic, Ram. So I think with Trust for AI, you spoke about 2 key areas, which is first is you identify and keep a AI repository, as you call it, and then you would go in and assess them to make sure that and apply the key elements of the framework of the S8 framework. And what's the next step in this whole journey?
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. Once you identify and once you start assessing, the assessment will throw gaps and risks. The key thing is to rate your AI systems according to these risks and maintain that risk registry to identify the high, medium, and low risk aspects of your system, which in turn makes your system high, medium, and low risk. Now you know that you have to deal with the high risk AI systems first. You know that you've got 20 AI systems in your organization that are being used as an example. 5 of them can be chatbots, 5 could be some process automation, 5 could be some data analysis tool, and 5 could be some document authoring tools, right? If you have these, then in your assessment, if you realize that there are around 6 to 8 systems which are highly critical in nature because of their risk profile, what you would do is you will put in additional focus on those systems and work towards reducing their risk profile. The risk could be due to the frontier model itself, because it could be a model which has got multi-agent capability and it is probably has access to data which it should not have. And then you might be looking at risk around how decisions are made by the AI model and the AI system rather than humans making a decision. This could be another risk factor. So such risks can be identified and you can list and track those risks, and that will help you focus on what AI systems to remediate or uplift first. So that's the third aspect: identify, assess, and track.
Right.
These are the 3 things you could do at a minimum to start off with your responsible AI journey. And probably this has been simplified and made accessible to all businesses through the Trust for AI tool, where you need not have technology knowledge to do any of these, right? You can be a business user and you can still do all 3 steps on its own.
Right. That's great, Ram. So I think in closing, if I can just summarize, so there are three key aspects that you bring through platforms like Trust for AI, which is identify, assess, and track. And I'm sure you've got many more. And you apply the 8 S's, which is your standard framework, elements of that framework. And yeah, thank you so much for that, Ram. And
No problem.
any closing remarks that you have before?
Yeah, it was a good first episode of the podcast, right? I think we had a good chat. We enjoyed the discussion with Neil as well, and it was a good discussion around how AI adoption is going on, the key blockers, and we also had a discussion on the responsible AI, the adoption and key steps in responsible AI adoption, the initial steps.
Mhm.
And I would encourage all organizations listening to this to get started on those initial steps already. Right? It is easy to do, and it is quite accessible to everyone. And you can, whatever we spoke of, all the links will be available in the description. And you can click on those links, get in touch with the right guys, and get started in your responsible AI adoption journey and your AI implementation journey within your organization. It is exciting times ahead. We will come up with the next podcast where we will talk about the remainder of the 4 Ss and also bring in some surprise guests. Isn't that the plan, Rajesh?
Absolutely, 100%. And yeah, look forward to those surprise guests. And all I can say from Ram's detailed chat today was keep an eye on the AI.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.